Hey Hogs fans, I'm Zach Swartz here for ArkansasRazorbacks.com. We're here in the Winfrey Hotel in Hoover, Alabama for the 2010 SEC Basketball Media Day. Head men's coach John Pelfrey and head women's coach Tom Collin made the trip along with student athletes Delvon Johnson and Lindsey Harris. Just in time for the red-white scrimmages this Friday evening to kick off the season, Media Day was definitely a spectacle to see.
When I took the job, I knew that I was inheriting a basketball team that was very good, had a level of success. The next year, you know, we didn't really know a whole lot about our basketball team because we had so many new faces, and had a tremendous experience there in that non-conference, going 12-1 and beating two top 4 teams in the country. Last year, obviously, we had didn't have our whole team until about the second week of SEC play. So. Yeah, if we could combine the last 2 seasons of non-conference and conference play, maybe make a little improvement in the SEC play, that'd be great. You know, our first year, if we, you know, if Patrick or Sonny got in foul trouble, you know, we could put Steph in there, I guess, a little bit for Gary, but it changed our team. It didn't really hurt us at all in the front court. We had a number of guys. Since then, we've had limited guard depth, and we had guys who had to play 32, 33, 34 minutes. Over a course of a season, this style of play, our league, it's too much. We feel like we got some strength in numbers in the backcourt without question, and it's going to hopefully you'll be able to see that, the intensity level of play from the defensive side of it, and the speed at which we'll be able to play on offense. Well, you know, from my standpoint, my ego is one in which I don't have to be number one. I'm very thankful and humbled by the opportunity of having a job there. The thing that's unique about Arkansas that if you don't know us, you got to understand is that we do love football, we love basketball, we love baseball. I mean, the Razorback fan shows up in ridiculous numbers. We've had 9,000, 10,000 for baseball games when it's really hot outside and everybody's outside. I mean, it doesn't matter what the sport is. That's unique. Some places they only show up for certain events, like you're talking about. With the Razorbacks, it's different. It's different. It truly is Razorback Nation. We're going to have our second straight sellout on Saturday in football. Basketball is going to be, you know, wild and crazy, and we've already had a chance to experience some of those venues. Baseball does their deal. I mean, it's just across the board. Volleyball, I know, set a record there the other day with some of the things they had going on. I think that's the thing that people may not understand about our situation is that our fans show up in great numbers for all of it. So it hasn't really been an adjustment level for me. I enjoy that because I'm one of those guys that it's making a sellout to football games. I'm one of those guys that's setting records over there at baseball because I'm there too. I've even been to a few volleyball games. So that's the thing I think for me that I've enjoyed.
I think one of the things that astonishes me sometimes is that even being back at Arkansas for the second time, you realize how a lot of the Arkansas fans still yearn for the old rivalries that they had with a Texas or with an Oklahoma, you know, somebody that's really close by. So I think that still exists. Some of that is, I think, just strictly geography. We kind of live out on the western plain of the SEC and still live in the middle of what is now Big 12 territory. But I think slowly but surely, I think the fans there certainly recognize that the move to the SEC was the right move for them, especially financially and in terms of moving into the premier conference in the country. I think that was a big step for Arkansas. You know, and I think they've had to work very, very hard ever since to be able to overcome some of the traditions that the other schools have had in the SEC for a long, long time. As we've been in the league now with these young kids, we've played a lot of games. We've played people very, very close. but now we're upperclassmen. And I think more than anything else, I think the players that we have in our program, I think they're good enough. I think they've got to cash in on those experiences, become a little bit better leaders, play with a little bit more confidence. And I think if they can win a few games early in the SEC schedule and get on a roll, I think it could be a pretty good year for us. Well, I think we've expanded the geography of the conference, certainly in terms of the fan base, stretching out to the west. I think Arkansas has strived awfully hard to build the facilities that they need in order to be competitive in the SEC in all sports. It certainly is always a battle, fighting against some of the traditions that the SEC has established, especially in the Deep South, in Alabama and Georgia and Florida. And so, I think it's been a work in progress. I think there have been times when many Arkansas teams have risen up and been as good as anybody in the conference, and there have been times when we've really had to try to battle up and through that middle of the pack, and that's where our program is at right now. We're trying to get to the upper part of the middle of the pack, and in the SEC, usually that's good enough to get you into postseason play. Well, the juniors are going to be at the core of our success. They came in as freshmen. A couple of those players made the SEC all-freshman team, and last year had big targets on their back because they were the best players on our team, and they were only sophomores. And so everybody came after them pretty hard. Some of those players stepped up. Lindsey Harris stepped up in a big way and had a great year. But as I told those freshmen, it's a long way from being on the SEC all-freshman team to being on the all-SEC team. And when you look at the All-SEC team, it's usually dominated by juniors and seniors. And so these kids are finally juniors. So I think they're talented enough, they're good enough. I think they just have to step up and believe that they deserve a seat at the big table.
Atmosphere in Fayetteville is crazy. Like, the fan base is they're loyal to the team. And I expect this year to be real crazy because we're going to be winning. I'm going to tell you that now. So I just expect everybody to jump on board. So. We could do better. Obviously, I think we could do better. It's just like preseason poll. Like, we haven't even played the game yet, so they don't really know where we stand. I just figure if we go out and play hard, we should be all right.
Well, I said before, when it starts getting cold outside, that's when you know it's basketball season. And the Fayetteville weather's so unpredictable, but I love fall in Fayetteville. And as excited as I am about football and going to the games and the whole atmosphere, it really helps to kind of get you ready for basketball season. And I'm always glad to come home, even if it's for 5 hours to see my family. So it's good to be home. I'm excited to get back to Fayetteville, though.
You are from Hoover, Alabama?
I am from Hoover, yes. It feels really good to be home. I've already actually seen my sister and my stepmom since I've been here. Anytime chance I get to come home and see them, I do. Being so far away, they came to Tennessee. So.
Did they bring you money or anything?
Oh yes,
Okay.
They slipped me some money too, so that was good. But I don't get to see them a lot, being so far away from home at Arkansas, and I probably won't get to see them till Christmas. So it's really good to see them right before the season starts, and I love coming back to Hoover. I love my city, and it's really good to see familiar faces when I come home.
Well, the atmosphere in Fayetteville is great right now. I think it starts in the preseason probably with football. Everybody's excited about football, and as much as that's a completely different sport than women's basketball, I think when you start out and you're having the kind of success that we've had in football, I think it really generates a great fan base and generates a lot of excitement, and hopefully there's going to be a lot of carryover.
Well, it's the best atmosphere in college basketball. It really is. We got a passionate fan base, and we don't share the state with anybody. There's no pro teams. There's no really other opportunities besides the Razorbacks, and we have a very, very passionate fan base. They love it. We all love the Hall. We got a logo like nobody else, and that means something to us. So, bottom line is, we know when we're playing basketball games and things are going well for us, we don't have to stand up and wave our hands to our crowd. They appreciate what's going on, and all we got to do is dive on the floor, pick a teammate up, get a little bit excited. Our fans follow suit. So it's looking forward to another exciting basketball season with the Razorback fans.
Go hard.